Okay, welcome to part two of the unit two of this smart web-based instructional module. Right now we've kind of covered both the basic hardware setup of the smartboard and as also the basic tools and actions available in the user interface of the smart notebook software as a whole. What I want to do now is tell you a little bit about some of the options you have in the gallery, in attachments, and some other things along this right-hand panel here. So we've already measured and we've already kind of discussed the things up top here. I want to move our focus to the side panel right over here. So of course, this page right here is what I've already selected right now, and that is of course the white page pane, which shows me my sort of my slides here. And if you click on this little picture frame here, it gives you access to the gallery essentials as well as some other activities, for examples, for instance, and activity toolkits, and as well as the 3D warehouse. So to start, let's take a look at the pictures here in the gallery essentials. So this is the folder we're in, and this is where it's being displayed. So we have over 6,500 items we have at our disposal to use for different classes. So for example, if you click on this, you have dot paper, large and small. So if I click on that and I sort of I can either drag it into my notebook itself, and I can use it like those little rubber band type things you have in like second grade. You can of course add like numbers and so forth, and little objects like clip art, two-year presentation. There are maps. There are, again, other images, handwriting examples, famous individuals, just objects to sort of make your lessons really come alive in all sorts of different ways. So again, there's everything from diagrams to animal clip art, and just take some time. I would really encourage you. The best way to learn some of this stuff is just to kind of play with it. This tutorial its scope is going to be very kind of limited in its overall attempt to give you everything that you need. I hope this tutorial and this web-based module will give you the confidence to kind of go and explore for yourself. And just keep in mind that most things that you do software-wise can always be undone. Now, if you throw your laptop across the room, I can't help you. But if you do something that you're not familiar with, in terms of the program, most occasions, there's nothing you can do that really can't be undone in that regard. So again, you have diagrams, pictures, artwork, photographs, etc. Those are all in the Gallery Essentials section of this gallery tab right here. The toolkit has some other things as well. You have interactive multimedia, whereas you can kind of like pop the balloon. So if you have like a little balloon here, you can insert it into your presentation, and by clicking on it, you can of course pop the balloon. So that's kind of a little fun game that you can play with the kids, and you can integrate that into all sorts of lessons. You may want to, there's a couple of games and interactive software out there for the notebook that has kids like match concepts, and behind each balloon are the concepts they have to match. So it's kind of like a matching game. I know some teachers that use like koosh balls that they kind of lightly throw at the board, and so there's all kinds of different ways that you can use this. You also have, again, different interactive maps that you can use. And if you look, this red sort of F in the top left corner of each of these denotes that these particular things are Flash-based, which means that that's how they're coded. It's a Flash. Flash is Macromedia, and now I think it's owned by Adobe. But anyway, that's what that little red F means, and it means that in some way, shape, or form, these interactive things have some sort of movement associated with them or editable regions. In other words, it's not just simply pictures you're putting on the board. it's something that has a little bit more interactivity. So by clicking on the arrows on and off, you can kind of open and close each of the panes here. Here's that balloon pop idea I was talking about. So again, you can have different activities that this is kind of already associated a template for you, so you can kind of use the balloon pops and not actually assemble each balloon yourself. It's already kind of there for you. So that is the lesson activity toolkit. Again, the best way to go about doing this, folks, is to just spend some time playing with the options in here. And let's take a look, if we could, at the 3D warehouse. So this kind of thing here is actually on the Smart Exchange website, and you can search for these Trimble 3D warehouse tools with the Smart Notebook software and insert them into the actual presentation. But again, these things are actually located on a server that's not actually saved to your particular computer. So that's the other thing. As we go on with technology, we're really kind of blurring the lines between what's saved on your local machine and what is saved to things like the cloud, which is essentially a server somewhere that either Google or Microsoft or somebody owns that you, in theory, pay for, but sometimes they give you a certain percentage of space for free to sort of entice you to start saving your stuff there. Now, the upside to that is you can access your files from any computer, whether you're at your parents' house or whether you're at your own house or whether you're at school. You can access your files and you're not worried about bringing your laptop with you. The downside, of course, is you don't have local access, and people, in theory, like the NSA, for example, can theoretically look at your stuff. So that is the price that we pay for living in the 21st century, but that is a conversation for another time. And I do want to continue with some other features here. So this pane here shows us where we keep our attachments. So if I wanted to save something, I have a folder on my desktop that I have all kinds of attachments that I could put into. If I click on this little paperclip thing here, this would allow me to open up a file and save it for kind of safekeeping or easy access in my quick files right here. So if I had a map or a chart or a spreadsheet that I wanted to continually go back to, rather than continually hitting open over here or importing media, I could simply having a quick access to the attachments there. So that's certainly an option for you. Fill effects of the background, you have no fill, solid fill, gradient fill, pattern fill, image fill. These are all different ways that you can color your background. We kind of covered that with some of the tools up top here. And this last part, this add-on bit, is kind of new. This is one of the newer things for Smart Notebook. It's brand new in 2014 edition. And this GeoGebra app add-on is particularly new and allows users to graph equations, linear and otherwise. And if you look at the bottom of this page, you'll notice a short introduction to how this whole thing works with one of the programmers at Smart Software at their headquarters. So definitely check that out, and you'll see just what some of these other things can do. The activity builder is great for young kids and older kids as well, to show you what that kind of looks like. You can actually go into the Smart Notebook tutorial, which I encourage you to do that. It's under the Help menu, and you can at any time go through the Smart Notebook tutorial and get a sense of how some of this stuff works. So the activity builder allows you to create interactive lessons and activities by using that toolbar here. So for this example, it'll ask you, what do horses eat? And it allows you to kind of drag and drop these objects to the horse, and of course the correct answers will disappear. And the incorrect answers will not be allowed. So again, the candy was of course rejected, and the apple will be consumed, for lack of a better term, by the horse. So this would be a good way to kind of create lessons that show relationships and how things are related to one another. So that's some of the more advanced things you can do with Notebook. And again, I encourage you to spend some time in the tutorial and sort of playing with a lot of the different tools here, because this module is only meant to kind of give you an introduction to how some of this stuff works, so you can feel more confident when you navigate the interface of Smart Notebook software. It is not meant to be an exhaustive, module tutorial that allows you to talk about every single aspect of this software, because quite frankly, that kind of a module would take you hours, if not days, to complete, and for me to discuss. So, when it comes to new technology and when it comes to learning about educational tech things out there, the best advice I can give you, whether it be Smartboard software or anything else, is to become aware of what's out there, and also just kind of play with it and see how the software or hardware behaves in a real-world environment. So that is the conclusion of the second part of the Unit 2. So stay tuned for the third unit coming up very soon that will allow you to do some things with the Smart Ink software. So stay tuned for that.